Now we should be online.
We are live, and we've managed to get live on time with good audio,
Without a
fingers
reboot.
crossed.
Yeah, without a reboot.
Yes. But as always, please in the comments, if there's any issues with the video or the audio, please do let us know in the comments and we can quickly make adjustments. But we've been footering, well, all morning with various new tricks so that we can make this as smooth as possible. And I guess that's good. We've been refreshing our setup so that we can talk to you about the refresh of one of our most popular models and a model that was the introductory model for our now, I think, very well known micro rotor movement, that being the K2. The model we're talking about, of course, is the Supersede GMT, a model that was introduced to bring the K2 to market and many other new features that now are quite commonplace on many of our watches, but we will get into that later. You'll also notice we have a guest with us. Who have we got with us, Andy?
Misael from
We have.
New York. Saying hello from New York. Well, where are you exactly now? You're a little bit north of New York, correct?
North of New York, yeah, Westchester County. So it's a quick train ride down to the city.
And I mean, he's not just a guest, he's part of our team.
He is.
Namely, you take care of people who look for the right watch in the area and around New York and all over America. So if someone has a question and shoots us an email or through our corporate WhatsApp channel, then very likely it will move towards Misael and he's helping the people to get the right watch. And if someone wants to have an in-person look at the watch, and you can meet him in New York. You are rented also into co-working space, correct?
Exactly. Yeah, I was looking back at some of the messages me and Dave have exchanged, and I saw that it's been about 2 years since I've
Mm-hmm.
started doing this. So I was quite happy to see that and how it's been growing and growing. And yeah, this past February, we have now a dedicated space in New York City on 25th and Park Avenue. It's called the Newer House. So it's on the website as well if you want to get the full address. But yeah,
Fifth
if you want to see it
Avenue,
in
that's where
person,
we have to be. That's the place to be.
Yes.
it
And
is.
please do remember with that space, it is by appointment. Please don't just
Mhm.
see the address and go and expect Misael to be there. He is meeting people in lots of different places, but you can reach out to him via our WhatsApp channels and you can make
Yeah.
an appointment if you want to catch up with Misael and have a look at some watches. But we've got
And
lots of things
that's
to
why we
talk
thought
about.
that it makes sense to have not only two people, always the same faces, Andy and Dave. We wanted to have three people to have a good conversation. And since we have this new cutting edge tech stuff now, everybody in green screen, we are part of the whole thing here. It makes it much more fun when there are three people instead of two, I think.
Absolutely.
For
Absolutely.
sure.
Well, we should give, well, the audience are telling us so far that we look and sound great. I'm not so sure about the look, but I'm glad that we sound great. Two of us look definitely older than the third one, but that's a different thing. So yes, we're going to talk all about the refresh to the Supersede GMT, which we're calling the Supersede GMT G2. G, of course, for generation. Now, there's a few things, some very obvious in terms of the update, and some I think a little less obvious that we will talk
Mm.
about today in this live. I think the most obvious one, of course, is the refresh to the dial. And there's the very obvious things. The three colours are all new, but there are some very subtle little updates with regards to a few areas of the dial. Maybe we should not give the clue straight away. If anyone can spot them in some of the images, please do put it into the chat and let us know if you've spotted any of the updates on the dial. So there's three new colours. Who's going to be brave enough? The first colour is the sandy coloured one, pretty much similar, slightly darker than the top that Misael's wearing, and that is the Kalahari. I think there's an individual picture of that one, Andy, that you could probably share. I think it's slide 4. There is the Kalahari. This one, I don't know about the other two guys, but this was the one that when I saw it at first, I was a little unsure, but it's kind of rapidly grown to be my favourite of the three new dials. think Misael's nodding away
I was
vigorously.
totally against it.
Yeah.
Totally. Said,
I
what?
agree.
Sand? Huh?
Yeah,
I
I think Andy was
looks
pretty close to want to kill it. What do you think, Miz?
it looked pretty great on the Molokini. So I'm glad it's made its way to the Supersede as well. And obviously, as you can see, that is my favorite dial. And we were speaking, Dave. I mean, not we, but you and Ricky were speaking the other day on the podcast how there should be more browns and coffee colors in the world of watches, and I totally agree. And I feel like this nails it.
Absolutely. And it is similar but different to the Molokini. So just to clear it up, they're
Do
both
we
got a
want to
sandy
look at
coloured
it
dial.
live already?
Well, yeah, let's pull it up live actually, because it does change in the light as well. It looks quite dark in that image, but it's got some lighter hues to it as well, depending on how the light hits it. So here is the sand, a kind of very slightly grained finish. I don't know how zoom in you can get there, Andy.
I can't zoom in.
There we go. So this is an opportunity if any of you can notice any of the other updates to the dial outside of the color itself. May I
It really
beginning to see
looks
some of the graining?
if you have sliced a concrete block out of
Yes, you can
sand.
see
It's
you can
actually
see
pretty
that
cool.
graining.
Yeah.
Definitely got that sand
Really
effect.
well.
Sometimes from far away it looks a bit as if it doesn't have a texture, but there's definitely a kind of sand grain texture to it there as well, which looks absolutely fabulous in my opinion. But
We might have a little bit greenish from my green screen in there, so that's why I'm
need to watch your
shifting
mic,
quickly
Andy.
into that. Yeah, you see me? What? Do you hear me?
Oh, you just when you walked away, your mic drops a little bit.
Okay.
Someone's
but
asking.
let me have a look at from that side. That is a Sony. That is a Canon sensor.
And you can see even on this camera, it looks a little
that's
darker.
beautiful.
Yeah, it looks fractionally darker there. It's got a real nice play with the light. Someone's actually asking, it's Ronan is asking in the comments, what's the size? It is 39.5 millimeters in diameter. Obviously, it's an integrated bracelet, as you can see in the video. That does mean that it wears fairly compact on the wrist. I am not got the biggest wrist in the world, and it wears, well, personally, very well on me. I am wearing one on the rubber strap, as you can see here. And I think in my small wrist, it wears very well. It's 9.9 millimeters in thickness, so sub 10 millimeters. So it's definitely very wearable. I hope that answers your question with regards to the sizes. So that is
the accurate color now.
Yeah. We're not having any guesses as to what else has changed, but on the dial, what else has changed is that the power reserve up at 12 o'clock is now quite a lot cleaner. You've now just got a little plus and minus sign, and that is just cleaned up that power reserve. You've also got a new hand on the power reserve up there. It's now skeletonized so that it better fits in and matches with the main set of hands that are on the watch. Obviously, the main hands being the hours, minutes, and the GMT hand, because this watch is a full Traveler GMT. The other difference is the minutes track has been cleaned up a little bit. It's a little less dense in terms of the number of little markers on there as well, bringing it back from, I think from memory, around 300 to 240. So it just cleans it up and opens the dial up a little bit, in my opinion, as well. The date, of course, still a fast set date. You've got that GMT hand. You've got the new colorway on the AM, PM or day-night indicator over at 9 o'clock and the tip of the second hand. Now in a...
And by the way, shame on me. I didn't set the time correctly. I just...
it's okay. I think every watch is probably different. You know, we're only a watch company after all. That doesn't mean we have to be in time.
That's true. Yeah.
But yes, case, bracelet, they all remain the same. And we will talk about why they've remained the same a bit later in this presentation, because a huge amount of work went into getting this case and the shape and everything about the case absolutely perfect on its first outing. But yes, this is the first colour. This is the Kalahari, not the calamari, as certain people were getting confused with earlier on. No, calamari is very tasty. I wouldn't suggest eating this watch. It probably wouldn't end well for you. But that is the Kalahari, because of course
the calamari doesn't feel well in the Kalahari.
It definitely doesn't. It would be a bit parched for water, I think. And then the next one,
it might get brown.
it might get a suntan very quickly. I think that would be fair
So
to
you
say.
you could go
Yes.
see calamari with this watch on the wrist if you want to.
Well, yes. I mean, it's all about the links because, of course, you can go in the sea with this watch.
That's a good one
200 meters
also.
of water
Yeah.
resistance. Yes. So if you do want to be in the desert and go into the sea, you've got the 200 meters of water resistance on this watch, which means, of course, you
Should
can
be
quite
written
happily
somewhere here.
go in and about the watch.
Yeah.
Yep, it is on the case back.
And 904
200
steel.
meters.
And there's
And
some
904L
handwriting here.
stainless
Yeah.
steel. There we go. That's the prototype. So someone's been writing by hand. That's a watchmaker's mark there, if ever you've seen it.
Yeah.
With the bezel, it water resists at 200 meters. Yes, someone is absolutely correct. Now, Andy, let's go to the next color because we've got to get through three
Yeah.
of these. And the next
Yeah.
one is we're going to go with the Andaman blue. This is our new lighter blue with a very delicate sun ray effect on
I
the
was
dial.
also not sure on that, but it became my favorite.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
It's
This is
summer.
Andy's
It's
favorite.
summer, kind of summer thing.
I think for sure it's a summer watch. And blue, of course, is a dial color that many people, tend to gravitate towards because it tends to be quite safe, but it tends to be the darker blues they go for. And this is a much brighter, summery blue. I think this
we
looks
want
excellent.
to see it in life, I guess.
Go real, Andy. Let's go real. We've got
Real
it's all
world.
about being real. Here we go. And there we
No
have
AI
the-
can do that.
Now, this one has, as I mentioned, a very delicate sun ray effect on it as well. Again, another one that I was not entirely sure of, like Andy, but it kind of very much grows on you. I really like the new colorways we've brought into the range because it just, I think, has livened up the range a little bit compared to what was before. Obviously, they were really popular. They were in the range for in and around 4 or 5 years. So it's about time we've given this watch a little bit of a facelift and a refresh. And I think it's really brought
And
a
here
bit of
the
a
time
new
is set
life to them.
correctly, by the way.
Yeah, the time's set correctly, but Andy's got the bezel at 6 o'clock. So there's always got to be something that we can spot that's wrong on them.
Aha. Yeah, okay. I'm terribly sorry for that.
But Dave's
And we
OCD.
come round.
I hope my
Yes,
fingernails
yes,
are
Dave's-
okay
Dave's
because
OCD.
we had a little incident in the morning. the
Incident.
heating broke down and we actually disassembled a radiator at home, and then all the black water coming out under my fingernails, and I tried to get that okay. That's okay.
There we go.
Something. So I'm
Andy-
plumbing. We are in the plumbing business now.
What do they say? Clean hands are not working hands, and we've all got working hands. So there we go. Someone's made
watch
comment.
with
Yes.
a rubber strap. Can you bring me
It
a
would
rubber
look-
strap? No, there's downstairs is another case
There
with two
is-
rubber straps. But here, blau.
Yeah, there's the
Blue
black
is-
rubber strap. There actually is many colours. In fact, Andy, you can flick to one of the slides. There's a picture of all the
Yeah.
rubber straps on the dial so folk can have a quick look at them. Because with the GMT, when you order it, you get a choice of bracelet. You get the all brushed or you get the brushed and polished bracelet. You can choose between which option you want. But there is lots of rubber strap options. There
We
is,
want the
from
big
memory,
one, huh?
black, grey, blue,
Yeah.
red,
Oh,
purple and orange, and you can see a quick look at them. If you go to the website as well, this image is on the website, so you can look at all the different 3 new dial colors with the different options. And when you do, if you do order one of these, you get to choose which rubber strap you would like to come with it as part of the package. You can, of course, buy additional rubber straps if you so
and
wish.
by the way, if you are not sure, you can always call us and you can enjoy
Gosh.
that type of quality live exercise also in a private call.
Yep, we can, of course.
The private
look at
call
this.
sounds a
Andy?
little bit stranger. I mean, I won't
think, yeah,
dance
let's
naked
go
in
with
front of the
video
camera.
call. Video call.
Video call.
Yes.
Uh,
That doesn't mean that we'll be yeah, well, it depends what day of
yeah,
the week it is,
that
but there's all
gives
the
a
colours
pretty good
in
thing
real
here.
world. So there's the black, the blue, the grey, the orange, the red, and the purple colour. And I'm Scottish, so I'm having to pronounce purple correctly
Do
because
we have
usually we do
the
not.
blow?
So these are looking great. These
A
are an
little bit dusty here.
FKM. Yeah, FKM rubber strap. It means they're really soft. They wear well on the wrist, and they've got an air channel on the inner tract of them, which keeps the air flowing around them. It's a
And the air
904L stainless
flowing
steel
over it, so
hardware
we get
on
it
there
more clean now.
as well.
Yeah? How to change the strap? There is on that model we do not have a
Yep.
quick change system. There are reasons why we don't have that, because we proprietary interface is a challenge, and we did not do that. We did not find anything particularly good.
And here
There's a
is the
tool
tool.
for that. Yeah. And
David has the tool.
use that tool. I think I'm getting it. Leo is bringing it
Tool.
up.
I've got the tool here. This is the tool that comes again with the watch. Very easy. You slide the watch head in and you turn and it takes the bar out, which allows you to then remove the bracelet and fit the strap. Makes it very straightforward and simple. No problems with people scratching cases with this little tool that comes along with the watch.
That's just that's a different version of more Supersede.
So that's the date version,
but
yes.
It has the same case, so you can imagine how that watch looks. Blue and blue.
So yes, so someone's asking, is
Blue
it
and
a
black.
screwed lug? It's a screw bar. It's actually a solid bar with a Torx head on each side. And one side, of course, is removable, which allows you to slide the whole bar out. It means that you have a very strong connection of this integrated bracelet onto the watch, but it does allow it for the rubber strap to be fitted. Very easy and straightforward. Once you've done it once, it just slides in and off you go. So it makes it easy and simple to change. I've mastered it. I can get it down to now quite literally a couple of minutes to change the bracelet over to the strap without doing any damage whatsoever to the watch. So that is the light blue.
Pretty
color,
good,
Andy.
huh? Gray.
Pretty good. Yeah, look, it works as well. I think to be honest, most of the colors work with most of the dials. There's the odd color match that isn't great. The red looks good as well, I think, because of that kind of poppy color on the tip of the second hand and also on the 24-hour day-night indicator. So very versatile.
Yeah.
Now, let's pop over to the final color, Andy.
Yeah. Change.
And the final color, we have one in real life as well, but we can show the image, is the dark sky. And this is an interesting one. It's not black, but it's a very, very, very dark blue, to the point where, well, dark sky, midnight type look to it. It's a great color, especially considering in the original run, very early days, we did do a very limited number of black dials on the original Supersede, and then that disappeared, and we do get asked for it. But black is quite a harsh color, and this very dark blue, which is even darker than the currently available in Generation 1 Transatlantic blue. I think this is the classiest of the three colors. I think the light blue is definitely very summery. The sand one, I think, is a great watch for people who maybe enjoy the outdoors a lot. This is the one that, against the dark blue strap, will look amazing. And on the bracelet, I think, is the more traditional conservative look to it. And it will likely, because let's be honest, most people tend to be a little bit safe sometimes with their dial color selections, but this one is a great looking watch. But on the blue strap, becomes a bit more lively, a bit more sporty. The black will also work well with it. So that is the dark sky color. So we can maybe have all three together, Andy, as well.
Canon sensor.
There we go.
I'm getting sensitive. I mean, you know, I'm not putting colors usually because I have this green-red problem. But I see the difference between Canon and Sony. That bothers me a little bit. We have been
it's amazing the
discussing
difference
that.
cameras can show. Yeah, for sure.
Especially when you see it high-res like that. So we want to see all three.
So let's have all three up on there, and we can look and see what they're like. So now that you've seen all three, what was that, Misael?
Has the orange pops of on the day-night indicator and the second scan, have those been saturated a little bit? Because I have here
you're
a
absolutely
Gen 1.
right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. It's a deeper color on terms of the second-hand tip and on the day-night indicator. It's a stronger, more vibrant orange compared to the first generation of the watch. And I think it really just lends itself to be a bit more sharp.
Not too bad, my arrangement here.
There we go. So are we all still agreeing that our first choices of our favourite of the three new dials is still our favourite? Misael, are you still Team Sand?
I'm still Team Sand, although the red strap on that blue, that sky blue dial. That's a close second.
Yeah. Andy, where are we at? Thinking.
I think
I'm
blue,
definitely
the Sunray blue is, because I
the light
usually
one.
tend towards white dials. I'm a white dial guy. I don't know why, but perhaps I like snowboarding, and white is just an important color for the good experience in the deep powder. So white somehow, and bright and blue, this type of blue, not that, but you could say it's a little bit of a mountain sky blue with
Yeah.
a sunray shimmer thing. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I think I'm
but I have to
heavily
say
leaning.
that the desert thing, the Kalahari, is
It's pretty good.
yeah.
I
I mean, you
think
can buy all of them.
I'm definitely leaning towards the Kalahari myself. I think just it's a very versatile colour. And as Misael rightly pointed out, I do often bang on about there should be more browns and chocolate coloured dials in watches. I think it really works and it suits this watch well because, of course, the Supersede is known as our all-terrain watch. We don't make a dive watch per se, but it can, of course, be used in water, as we mentioned earlier. But this is a watch that can be used, well, as we mentioned, in all terrains. And I think that dial colour makes it a really good all-terrain watch, in my opinion. So there we have live all three of the new dial colours. Now, do we want to get into a bit more of the techie stuff in their presentation, Andy?
Yeah. We also have some nice film here, I guess,
So
since
let's
there
have a
was
look.
so
Let's see
much
if this will
work being
play.
put into all of that. Oh, shit. Ah. We have a look at that, huh?
Yeah. Now we'll be able to check it on YouTube.
That's the sound. That sound actually, Dave.
And there we
You are
go.
allowed to talk again.
Yes, there was sound because we can't hear the sound when it's playing out
Yeah,
on
yeah.
that way.
That's the
But
one thing
you
we
can
did not
also
solve yet.
you'll be able to rewatch that video. It's on our YouTube channel. So if you want to watch it in peace and quiet, then you'll be able to watch it on our YouTube channel as well. So there's a few wrist shots there showing the different colors, so you can get a feel for the watch.
Silvan, the
Different
Mr.
lights.
Wrist.
Mr.
Leo
Wrist
is
indeed.
actually booking him all the time. I need your arm.
Is it possible to get a Gen 2 dial on my Gen 1 suit?
Dave?
Of course, people are asking this question. So, can you get a Gen 2 dial on a Gen 1 watch? Technically,
We are
yes,
not
they can
yet
fit.
sure about how we handle
But
that.
we are not entirely sure how we'll do it. The likely answer will be that when your watch requires a full service, because to change a dial over is a considerable job, you have to split the watch down to almost its entirety. So when it's coming in for a full service, as long as we do have enough dials, and once we set the price of the dials themselves, I'm sure we will be able to help you out that way. You would need to contact us. It's not something that we have huge capacity for, but if you're genuinely interested, drop us an email, lostintime@horage.com, or jump onto our WhatsApp channel and ask the questions, and we can have a bit of a discussion and see what might be possible for you. I think that's the fairest answer for this moment in time. We
I
always
think we
try.
talked about the movement already, yeah?
K2 caliber, yes, as we mentioned, this is our micro rotor caliber, and this was the first watch to ever feature the K2 caliber. They kind of were developed on the same timelines alongside each other. And of course, the K2's gone on to power many watches within our range outside of our tourbillon and the newer K3 automatic caliber. Many of our watches feature this K2 micro rotor. Very versatile, one of the most, if not the most efficient micro rotor caliber on the market today. 72 hours of power reserve, full COSC certification, a semi-integrated design, which means you've got lots of functionality built in, and of course, our full silicon assortment
silicon
in
spec.
the escapement. So you've got silicon hairspring, silicon escape wheel.
You can stick that thing in an MRI.
You can, and We'll not give it away, but we've got stuff coming up. But we have been experimenting with some of our watches in an MRI scanner to see what damage we couldn't do to them, which is what it turned out, which was good fortune. So yes, that will be something we'll be talking about. in the near future.
30,000
Yep, 3 Tesla,
Gauss,
30,000.
3
units.
Tesla. It's a little bit more than the standard 10,000 test, I think, which is far above standard. And some companies in Switzerland insisted to keep the anti-magnetic COSC regulation test regime
Quite
below.
low.
What was it? 600 or something like this?
It was a sprinkling of thinking about maybe looking at something magnetic possibly in the future.
And
That's
to
how
be
low it
honest,
was.
that's a company who is spending more money on marketing than on engineering. I have to
Yes.
say that at this point.
I think one
which
thing
I
we're
don't like.
confident in is that we can, of course, work in magnetic areas with our watches with little fear of any problems or damage, but there'll be more on that tale later.
Okay,
So that's our
next
K2
slide.
caliber. The case. Now,
No,
a lot of
this
people
was
might say, why have you only refreshed the dials? Why haven't you changed the case? Well, there was a huge amount of work that happened with regards to the case during its original development. Here's some actually very early sketches, but there's a slide here where we went through many different iterative designs and ideas with the case before we got to the final design. And
and a ton of
personally,
problems.
I think this case design has really stood the test of time. It's timeless in many respects. I think it looks as fresh today as it did when we first settled and on that final design.
I think the
looks
groove
great.
was a typical myth, a digital myth, call it like this, that you see it on a 3D file and then you think that's the ultimate thing. And then we detected so many problems with the quality and you just don't get this right. And somehow it's also too much. When I look at it like this afterwards, and you have this edgy thing and then you have this round thing here, and somehow it doesn't fit together. And
No.
luckily, we got over that and we didn't run into that trap. And I think you see it also very good. Actually, it's pretty good. Looking back 4 years. That's nearly 4
a long
years.
time.
So now, when I look at it now, that's what Sue always says when you make some product design. Probably you put it in a drawer and look at it 2 years later.
Yeah.
And then you judge again if it's good or not. And so I think that was the right decision. So what else did we do?
There's many products out there where you sometimes look at them a few years after you've bought them and thought, maybe that was a little too avant-garde. Not discussing any particular car brands out there that cars have aged badly. But anyway, I think our case personally has aged very well. But another first for this watch was something that is possibly one of the most important things from a wearability of a watch. And we worked and developed our all in-house clasp, our HMAC, HORAGE Micro Adjust clasp. Lots of people
Shall I
like
show
micro
that
adjust.
live?
We can show it live. Lots of people like micro adjust clasp, but quite often they're big, unwieldy, and bulky. We wanted something slim, wearable, very comfortable on the wrist, but with lots of adjustment. So on our clasp, we have 10 millimeters of adjustment, and it can be adjusted in 1 millimeter increments. You can open it when the clasp is opened. You press the center button and you slide it out, but it can be shortened and it can be reduced in size when worn on the wrist. So you can open it up, clip on the watch, and just slide the bracelet into the size that you wish it to be. Super easy to adjust. And this was one of the first projects for Marcus when he started with us. He was the person that engineered and designed this
Marcus
clasp
is
completely
our
in-house.
personal wiki.
He's our toolbox.
When you don't know something, then you call him, and that was the condition for his home working job, that he always need to pick up the phone. That was why I hired him. And he's doing that. And then when you have a problem, and you can call him, and then he says, I don't know how to do that. And the second question is you need to ask is, how long do you need to learn it? And then usually after not all too long, he's coming back and said, yeah, I've studied that. And here's the solution. Thank you.
And
Wow.
he is rarely, if ever, wrong, it has to be said. He's the first to tell you if he doesn't know something, but give him a couple of days and he will usually know more than most people on the planet about it. He's one of these people that he is a lovely guy, but annoyingly capable of importing information into his brain. So that is our HMAC clasp, and that's something that
And
has
that was
found
his
its way
first
onto.
job when
was.
when he came to us. It was first COVID year.
Yeah, early COVID
Yeah,
2020.
yeah, yeah. And
this
he
clasp
didn't
has
have
found
any
its
watch
way.
any watch industry background. No,
No,
zero.
he did not come from the watch industry.
What
Sorry,
did you say,
Misael, you said
Misael?
something.
No, I said everyone always compliments like the one thing that always get complimented, no matter, if it's like even above sometimes the dial or the bracelet itself, it's a clasp. But people are
Yeah.
so surprised by how much adjustment you get and also how slim it is. And if anyone is listening to this and in the New York area, like the weather over here has been pretty temperamental, so it's been crazy hot some days, like cold
Stickers.
today. So I've been using and abusing that system right there because it's just
Yeah.
incredible.
I
Like
think
for
on a
this
on a on a
technical level.
leather strap it's not so relevant, but on a bracelet it's something which really is
Very much.
important, and it has to be. I mean, when the clasp is thicker than the watch, then there is something wrong. So I think here we have really found an extraordinary good
And something I
design, and
see,
it is difficult. It's difficult to make this.
it's something I hear people talk a lot, especially when you go out to events. Like a brand can have the most beautiful watch out there, but it's always if the clasp doesn't do it for the person, like you might not
Mm.
not get it. You know, I hear
Yeah.
people talking, oh, no, this brand has this specification, that specification, but the clasp is terrible. And that
Mm.
turns people off because if you can't wear the watch properly, then what are you doing with
Yeah,
it?
I mean, some people forget that watches should be comfortable on the wrist. And we in early 2000s, we still know that watches are kind of potato size wrist objects, and luckily, I think we walked away from this trend. People understand that when you have this the whole day on the wrist and you work on the desk or whatever you do with your hands, then it should not disturb. Yeah, and chunky stuff is just not good. And when it's too tight, it's not good. So I think this is really pretty good. So what else do we have
Absolutely.
on in store
Well,
for?
that clasp has found its way onto many products in our range. Everything after that that has a bracelet pretty much has the HMAC clasp in it. But what else? Well, something much more hidden, something within the movement. And this is our flexible gear train. This is something we've been talking about on our social media for the last, couple of days, over the last few weeks. For a few days, we've been talking about this. And this is a huge development, something that's taken many years, a lot of work, and has been something that Sue and the engineering team have really been working hard on. And the
And we
whole
are not the
idea,
first with this idea, yeah, overall,
no,
just to make that clear. Agenor, the guys from Agenor, I think the father of them, he started this whole thing with the wake of this technology in order to reduce gear play on some dial side functionality. Then Rolex also, in fact, followed that. Having said that, means that every movement consists of gears, and gears have play. That is a natural part of the construction of a movement. And depending on where you click in your crown, you will see a certain amount of play somewhere, depending on the watch you set forward or backwards. So there are several different architectures, but you have some certain play. And in order to reduce that, you never can get rid of it completely, but you can reduce it to a good level. Doesn't mean that the time is not shown correctly. It's just you reduce it to a level where you probably say, okay, that is now better engineering than before. But it's not easy, yeah. Just to be clear that this is not an easy thing. I think I can play that thing. Yeah. I cannot. So everybody, yeah, I think this is also an Instagrammer.
Yeah, we've got that on Instagram as well.
Yeah. So it's a pretty sophisticated ear shape. We spent a ton of time to figure out how do you need to lay out those two teeth that they don't fall to one side, because everybody's doing it a little bit different. Some have a center beam, like I think the Rolex version has a center beam in order to stabilize that. Agilent has it only symmetric as far as I remember. And we had said, yeah, we don't want to have that center structure. We want to have actually an interlocking mechanism which gives stiffness to that teeth when they are actually compressed. It has no effect on the performance of the watch, by the way, because it's outside of the power flow. It is just merely there to click in the hands more correctly when you effectively change the GMT setting. That's the primary goal behind that.
Where you're making adjustments to either the time, or if you're jumping the hour or the GMT hand, and you occasionally see a very slight quiver in terms of what happens when you're moving the hands, this effectively solves that issue. Not that either option had any performance disadvantage, it didn't, but this makes the whole experience of making adjustments on the watch even better. This is, of course, now fully standard on our K2 caliber, and all of the new Supersedes will ship from day one with this new component in the watch. But the good news is that when watches are brought back in that feature K2 and they come back for service, so when they're next due their major service and they come in as part of the service structure, this gear will be fitted to K2 movements.
Yeah.
So it's part of our promise that we will always look after all of our clients. It's not that we want to leave anyone behind. So when your watch is due at service and it comes in for its service and it's all being worked on, which of course also means that when you have the service fully completed, you get an additional 2-year warranty with that. It will have this new gear fitted onto the watch. But this, again, in line with the Supersede quite often being the launch product. It was a launch product for K2. It was a launch product for the HMAC clasp. It's also the launch product for this gear component in the watch. But we will not forget about any customers who are already out there with K2 powered watches, as and when your watch needs serviced, because mechanical watches, they do need looked after. They are definitely not service free. They need to be looked after from time to time. We will, of course, make sure that you're upgraded to the latest components at that point in time.
Crazy stuff.
So Andy, after that, we can show a few pictures of the watch. You see the two different bracelets. So we've got both the polished.
2 different bracelets. We have polished and we have brushed.
And by polished, we mean the center link.
Yeah, the center link. So shall I show that in live?
If you have one, let's see it in real life.
I have that.
Someone's asking where's the concierge in Italy?
Again, if they check out our website, which is www.horage.com, there's the concierge section with all of the contact
have Oliver
details.
there.
Yep. And
Oliver can help you out.
Reach out to you.
Yeah.
And there is the two bracelets. So one is either fully brushed, the one at Andy's side of the screen, and the one where my head is sitting is the one with the polished center links and the brushed edge links on them as well. So you get to choose which option you prefer when ordering any of the Supersede watches. That goes not just for the GMT, but that also goes for the date, and it goes for the dual time options as well. So that is those. Then we've got lots of course, the rubber straps we talked about earlier, and they can quickly show the slide. Lots of different color options there. You can look at them. And as Andy said, if you want to see any in real life, just drop us a message and we can have a quick one-on-one call with you to show you the different options that you may want to choose. And then we get to the important bit, the cost and the availability, Andy, which I think you've got a slide there for.
Yeah, sure.
So there we go. The availability is imminent. They will be available from late May. So in the next 10 days to 2 weeks, these will be available and shipping. Price point. Best bit is no movement on the price 6,490 Swiss francs, which is exactly the same price as the outgoing colorways that we offered on the Supersede Generation 1 GMT. So unlike lots of other things in this world that are seemingly going up in price every day that you look at them, we managed to hold the price along with all those improvements, including the technical improvements in the movement and, of course, those new dials. So that brings a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel for people where, well, our prices are not going through the roof, unlike other things. So very quickly available, and they can be ordered from today, either on the website, or of course you can reach out to any of our concierge, people like Misael, and you can have a chat with them and they can arrange orders for you if you should. If there's a tongue twister, if you should so wish to order one of the new models. So Andy, anything else you want to bring into the chat?
I like it. The calamari doesn't fit into the Kalahari.
Yeah, this is something that's definitely
a good
amused
laugh.
Andy. Yeah.
But as I learned, you can also actually find calamaris in the deep sea with that watch from Misael. These are two pretty good findings in this live, I have to say.
If you didn't learn anything in this live,
yeah, I have something. I will go to Germany tomorrow. No, on Saturday, having attending a watch Stammtisch. You call it like that? What is a Stammtisch? You know, a place where people go and drink beer together, usually once a week. How do you call it in Scottish?
The pub.
They do that every day.
Yeah, this is a daily occurrence. If it's not done daily, we get a bit agitated and angry.
No, it's kind of an annual gathering in a restaurant, and there are probably 30, 40 people, I think. And I'm coming up and hold a presentation on micro-reg, which is making good progress. Many small issues to solve, but I think we are on the right track. And we were going to have a big live when I'm back from Taiwan and Hong Kong, because that's what we do next Monday, going there. Yep. Doing some filming also with Leo, he's there, and Franco. And you will go to where?
I will be in New York with Misael because we are exhibiting or screening our film. Yes, so the film will be being shown in New York. If you want to know more details, you can reach out to us. You can also reach out to Misael with all the details, or if you go onto our website and check out the community section, you'll see Taming the Whirlwind, where all the details of the cinema screening, and you can register for a free ticket to come along. It's quickly filling up. I think we have got less than 20 seats left in the whole cinema. So if you are interested, if you're in the New York area and you would like to come along, that is going to be next week on the Wednesday evening, I believe. Is that correct, Misael?
Just dropped in the link for the RSVP in the chat. So if anyone wants to use that, they're very welcome. It starts at 6:30, as you said, on the 27th, and it will be, if I can get the address, at Eleanor Monroe Film Center, 144 West 65th Street, New York, New York. So pretty easy to get to if you're in the city or in the surrounding areas.
Yeah, very much pretty central, I would
just
suggest.
recognized during the whole stream that I had made Misael too small. So I made you bigger now. And I moved you more into the center.
Thank you.
I'm terribly sorry, but this new tech is... I'm the alone operator here, yeah, the sole operator, including presenter. Luckily, Dave is so good in talking these things through that I can focus on pressing those buttons here.
So we'll be
nice watches here.
But then the next big live is going to be, as Andy says, all about micro-reg, a huge update on what's been happening with lots of advancements there. And if, of course, you're at any events, you'll get to actually see the most latest prototypes live, including the early prototypes of the adjustment tool. So all worthwhile, and there's many people have got their pre-orders in. If you've been thinking about the micro-reg, you should also start to think a little harder as well, because as we commence deliveries, that's when we will be looking to close the order window on those Foundry Edition watches. So time is slowly but surely ticking away on the options on that watch as well. But of course, today we're here to talk all about the refresh of the Supersede. I hope everyone's enjoyed looking at them. we're coming towards the end. So if anyone has any questions, any queries, wants to see anything at a different angle, please jump into the chat and let us know. That would be fantastic. And we can then, of course, get that arranged before we end this chat. A couple of wee comments there from people just enjoying the technical innovations. And yep, the advanced gear train. Yeah, we always try to bring engineering to the forefront of what we do, but watches should also be fun, and they should be things that you like to look at on your wrist. And it's a bit of a blend of everything. That's what we have to get towards.
Yeah.
So I don't know
Well,
if
that
we've seen
means
any questions popping up, Misael, that you can see.
No, none. So I think we answered everything.
Excellent. So there we go. Andy, any final words before we move on? I think what we should be doing, though, is telling folk how they can get in contact with us. And we've got a slide with a QR code to make their life much simpler for that.
I'm just trying to find the best arrangement here for that, for these watches in my table. Sorry that I have so much fun doing that.
No problem.
Misael, we need to get your table up and running more, that you can also do these kind of live presentations
Yeah.
with clients,
sooner.
because that's what we actually do. So even when there's a concierge, we can actually hop on a call together, and when there's some specific stuff we don't have in a certain country or area, then I can switch on that thing, and that doesn't only work for YouTube, that also works for Zoom, Teams, Meets, whatever you want to chat with us, we can do that. So yeah,
I think we just need
it's another
to
proof
double
of
check.
tech. Hmm?
Yeah, just double check the that everything is working correctly, and then soon enough it'll be available to stream over here in the US as well.
Good.
Super. So, Andy, maybe you could share that QR code where people can contact us.
Yeah, of course. Otherwise, I'm getting some problems at home.
There we go.
That's what
so
you can
if you want to
scan.
join our WhatsApp community, scan that code and just hit send on the pre-populated message, and people will be in contact with you. It will filter them out to your local area. But yeah, any questions you have, anything you would like to see, any notification about events, etc., use that and you can chat away with us, and we will be able to get you in contact with the most relevant person for whatever your question is.
So is that link is also in the text, I think.
Correct. It's all there. People
In
can
the
get in
YouTube
contact
text.
with us.
Yeah.
In the
Okay.
YouTube text, you can either watch this and scan it up, or you can get into the description of what this is about, and there's a link in there also. So very easy to get in contact with us.
But
so there we go, Andy.
We should stop with watches at the end.
There we go. The three
I
new
think.
colors. That is the
Okay, so now how do I actually stop again? Because we always get it wrong.
you need to press the stop before.
Yeah, there's stop
after
streaming.
you stop. Yeah. So we
but
need to say goodbye, everybody.
we
and
say
wait a few
goodbye, and
seconds.
then we wait a little
everyone.
bit. Okay, good. Goodbye.
Thanks for everyone.
Bye.
Catch you again on the next live.
Thank you.
Thanks.